Let's start in a seated position, letting the hands rest on the knees, and start to tune in to your breath. Whether you're working on yogi breath or runner's breath, inhaling slowly and exhaling as fully as possible. Stay with your breath on your own. And on your next inhale, we're going to lift the arms up overhead. And on the exhale, start to twist over to the right side. So hooking that left hand to the outside of the right knee. Feel free to gaze back. And then inhale back through center, arms lift. And exhale, twist to the opposite side. Inhale, lift the arms up, coming back through center. And go ahead and take the soles of the feet to touch, letting the knees splay open. Coming into butterfly pose to gently open the hips. Feel free to bow forward over the legs in this position and stay with the breath. Inhale, rise back up, and keeping the left leg in place, extend the right leg out long to the side. If this is enough of a stretch, stay here. If you want a little bit more, feel free to start side bending over to that right side. And you're going to try to keep elongated through the spine, reaching over to the right side. The next inhale brings us back through center using the core, and we'll switch sides, so extending the left leg out long, bringing that right foot back. Sit up tall, engage the core. And for more of a stretch, start to side bend over to the left, maybe even lifting that right arm up and over. We'll come back through center, make our way onto hands and knees into tabletop position. And start to extend the right fingertips out in front of you and the left toes back, and then lift away from the ground. So really reaching in opposite directions, still engaging the core. Your next exhale brings you back down, setting up for the other side. So extending left fingertips long, right toes back, and then extend, lifting. Take it back down. And then we'll start to lift the right knee out to the right. And then almost like you're drawing circles with that knee, taking it back and down and around. So keep going. Stay with your breath. Engage the core. And then take the right knee down, setting up for the left side. We'll take the left knee out to the left and start circling around. So smooth movement. Stay with it. And then bring the knee back down into tabletop. Finding your way into downward dog, you'll lift the hips up and back. And feel free to pedal out the feet or make any other moves that feel right here, whether it's bending one knee and then the other or shifting the hips back and forth. It's your practice, so do what feels right. From here, we're going to shorten the downward dog. So walk your hands a little closer to your feet. And taking a twist, we're going to take the left hand, reach it over to the right leg, either hooking that hand onto the ankle, shin, thigh, whatever it reaches. And use that grip to twist deeper. On the next exhale, come back into neutral downward dog, both hands planted, set up for the other side, so taking the right hand to the outside of the left leg this time. And again, twisting a little deeper, and then coming back through center again. Walk the hands forward again, so back into normal downward dog, and lift the right leg high, three-legged dog, bend the knee, open the hip, and start to make circles with that lifted knee. So adding a little bit of mobility work here. And then we're going to step that right foot forward between the hands. Left knee softly lowers. Take a round of breath here. And then shift the hips back, straightening the front leg, flexing the front foot. Depending how open you are, you'll either fold over this front leg or just keep the torso upright. And then we're going to shift back forward again into that low lunge. Plant the left hand this time, lift the right arm to the sky for a low lunge twist. Breathing here, and then plant both hands. Tuck the back toes, lifting up off of that back knee, rising up into high lunge. Both arms reach up. We're really extending through the side body. Remembering that deep inhale, and on the exhale, open up into warrior two. So the back heel swivels down arms come to a T, gazes over the front fingertips, and then we'll lift that right arm up and back for our reverse warrior, remembering to keep that 90-degree bend through the right knee. And moving with the breath, we'll come into side angle, so taking right elbow to the right knee, left arm reaches up and over, and then look down, plant the fingertips on either side of the right foot, swivel the back toes forward, and step into your forward fold. Take a micro bend in the knees here. Grasp opposite elbows, maybe swaying back and forth like a rag doll. Let the head hang heavy, releasing through the neck. This is really one of those poses where you can just let go. So we're not really manipulating. We're just letting the pose be and work on its own. We're going to start to slowly rise from here, arms reaching up overhead. On the exhale, fold forward, hinging at the hips, plant the palms, step back into your plank pose. We're going to hold here. So we're really working on warming up the core. The hips aren't too high, they're not sinking too low, and shoulders are directly in line with the wrists. Stay with the breath. And slowly lower all the way to the ground. Press into the palms, lifting the chest away from the ground, coming into cobra pose. If you're already feeling open, feel free to come into your full upward dog pose. Whichever variation you're in, roll the shoulders back and down away from the ears. And then slowly make your way back into downward dog. We'll lift the left leg this time, three-legged dog, bend the knee, open the hip, and then start to draw those circles again, really getting into that hip mobility. And then step the left foot forward between the hands, right knee lowers for the low lunge. Coming into half split, shift the hips back, straighten the front leg, and flex through that foot. Keep the torso lifted or bow over that front leg. Wherever you are, try to keep straight through the back without hunching over. And then shift forward again, low lunge. Plant the right palm, lift the left arm high, low lunge twist, breathing here. And then coming into high lunge, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee away from the ground, arms lift. Maybe even taking a slight back bend here. Moving with the breath, we'll exhale into our warrior two. Take a full round of breath while you're in this pose. And then on the exhale, reverse that warrior, reaching that left arm up and back. Your eye gaze is up towards the sky, and your chest is trying to swivel open towards the sky as well. And then coming into our side angle, left elbow to left knee, right arm reaches up and over, hovering above the ear. And then looking down, framing that left foot with both hands, swivel the right toes forward, and then step forward, forward fold. Heel toe the feet to the outer edges of the mat, and then just allow the torso to glide back and forth towards the right leg, towards the left leg in this wide-legged forward fold. We'll inhale, lift up to stand. Arms coming all the way up overhead, and turn the toes out so the heels are sickled in, and we're going to come into our yogi squat. So bring the palms through heart center, bend the knees, and start to squat all the way down. You may have to adjust the width of the feet a little bit to make it more comfortable and accessible. And if you're in the full pose, you should have the backs of the arms pressed up against the inside of the knees. And you're going to use that resistance to find a more upright position through the torso, so getting longer through the spine, extending up through the crown of the head. And then plant the fingertips, lifting out of the pose. We're going to step back into our plank pose. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. And then exhale, coming into our puppy pose. So we're kneeling on the shins, the hips are in line with the knees, and you're just going to extend the arms out long and melt the chest towards the ground. Maybe even the forehead rests on the ground, and breathe in this shoulder opener. Slowly rise out of the pose. And staying where you are on your shins, you're just going to take your right leg out to the right side, flex through the foot, lift the left arm up and over to the right. So this should be like a half triangle pose. It doesn't matter how deep you're able to go, it just matters how it feels and that it's safely approachable. And then come back through center, and we're just going to fold at the hips forward, fingertips to the ground. Feel free to walk to each side or just stay through the center, whatever feels right. And then setting up on the other side, we'll take the left leg out to the left, flex through the foot, lift the right arm up and then over to the left. Keep with your breath. And then coming back through center, we'll bow forward, fingertips come to the ground right out in front of us. Taking one round of breath in this stretch. And then coming back through center, we'll make our way into a seated position. Keep the left leg grounded, bringing the left knee right out in front of you. And then you're going to cross the right leg over the left side so that the right foot plants to the outside of the left thigh. If this is enough of a stretch, stay here, maybe even pulling that right knee in towards the chest. And if you want to take the twist, lift the left arm up, lengthening through the spine on the inhale, and on the exhale, twist over to the right side, hooking left elbow to the outside of the right knee. And then slowly come back through center, setting up for the other side. So switching the leg position. Right leg is grounded this time. Left leg crosses over to the right side. Stay here or lift the right arm high, lengthen on the inhale, and exhale, twist over to the left. Feel free to let the gaze follow, looking back. For every inhale, lengthen more through the spine, and for every exhale, maybe twist a hair deeper. And then slowly come back through center. Coming into an easy seated position, just bring the palms to heart center, taking one last round of cleansing breath. Thank you so much for practicing. If you enjoyed this class, please give it a like or comment, and please subscribe to see more videos like this.